Folks, one of the Biden administration's long campaigned on promises to forgive hundreds of billions of dollars in student debt has officially been defeated. It's been beaten to death. Yesterday, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals dismantled Biden's plans, which is a huge win for the country, huge win for financial stability, huge win for sanity in our country. Huge win. But before we get into it, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us in the future. We're going to dig into all of this right here. So President Biden's SAVE plan, which was his kind of second plan that he had to forgive as much student loan debt as possible. The SAVE plan was introduced in response to the Supreme Court striking down Biden's first student loan forgiveness plan that would have forgiven about $400 billion in debt. And it was overturned in the Biden v. Nebraska Supreme Court. Now, the SAVE plan was introduced by the Biden administration as a income-driven repayment plan that aimed to lower the monthly expenses or payments for borrowers and forgive the remaining balances. So a couple of key features of it was it capped all loan payments at 5% of discretionary income. It increased the income exemption so more people will qualify for very low repayment plans and for payment plans where they had to pay zero. Like how insane is that? You go take out a degree in lesbian dance theory or gender studies. You go work for the state at the local history museum. You make $30,000 a year, if that. Because of your income, you can't qualify. You qualify for a $0 repayment plan and the government takes care of everything. You literally serve no purpose to society. You do not create any economic growth. You do not create any economic activity in our country. Going and working at Taco Bell or McDonald's is doing more for the economy as far as economic activity goes than getting a gender studies degree. You might just go work at McDonald's or Taco Bell at that point. And then basically what was happening is if you had a 0% repayment plan or $0 repayment plan, any interest that occurred over a year would then just be eliminated, which prevented balances from growing over time. And anybody who had under $12,000 in student loans would get full forgiveness within 10 years if you made your payments. So if you're on a $0 repayment plan, you pay $0, they forgive your interest at the end of every year. Then after 10 years of paying $0 a month, you get your student loan debt paid for. Now, obviously, this was challenged in court. Missouri Attorney General had initially filed a lawsuit against the administration saying that, really, the Education Secretary is outside of their legal authority by creating this program here. It is really, really far outside of his legal authority when they created this program that was not tailored at ensuring people pay their debt, but instead it was solely focused on forgiving loans. Biden tried to do all of this through an executive order because he knew none of it could get through Congress. He had 0% chance that this could get through Congress. Congress would never greenlight this bullcrap right here. Never. And this was a top target for the GOP. As of the initial price tag was going to be over $500 billion every 10 years for this. $50 billion. And when the Office of Budget Management, they do one of these assessments, usually the cost of something ends up being like 30, 40, 50% higher than what it actually is. So we could have been looking at $70 or $80 billion a year to forgive loans for people. Instead of allowing them, hey, you took out the debt, take care of your responsibility. No. The government needs to step in and take care of them because they've been No. Here's the deal. They went to school for 4 years. They got to enjoy their life. They got to not work, to just do whatever the hell they wanted to do for 4 years. Now, the reckoning time is here. Pay your damn bills. Because let's get one thing straight. There is no such thing as loan forgiveness when the government does it. It just shifts the burden. And even when it's done in the private sector, if you're able to get a loan forgiven by your bank that you work with. Well, it's not really, it's forgiven to you, but then it's just all the shareholders of the bank are the ones who absorb the losses. Same thing with the federal government. It just shifts the burden from the loans from the individual who went to college to the taxpayer who either never took out a loan, didn't go to college, or worked their asses off to pay their debt off. It's just insane. These people worked, if the day after, if you paid your last student loan payment And then the day after student loan was implemented, you get nothing. You just spent decades paying down your student loans just to be given the big middle finger. Well, now you're the one who's going to have to subsidize through your federal dollars that you spend are going to be subsidizing this Gen Xers who are going to college, getting worthless degrees, who then can't afford the debt that comes along with it. Now, while Biden was in office, the plan was essentially halted due to a federal court in Missouri suspending the program while legal challenges proceeded. Now, Biden did take it up to the Supreme Court, and they refused to step in and lift the initial injunction that were imposed by the court. So basically, the court said, "Hey, while we're dealing with this right here, the loan forgiveness program cannot move forward while it can't move forward while legal proceedings are ongoing." And the Supreme Court refused to say, hey, no, this program can still continue on. With the administration really putting out a statement saying, our administration remains committed to vigorously defending the SAVE plan, which has benefited over 8 million borrowers by lowering their monthly payments. This includes 4.5 million individuals who now have $0 monthly payments. How is that good for the individual? How is it good for the individual to let them go to school for 4 years, amass $100,000 in student debt? Now, because they got it in gender studies, they make $30,000 a year, and now they qualify to have a $0 monthly payment. How does that help them with anything? How does that benefit them with you took on a responsibility, now you have to take care of your responsibility? It's like this generation has tried to do everything that they can to evade and skirt the responsibilities of life. There are responsibilities that come along with living, and you must accept it. But instead, the federal government, under the Biden administration, did everything they could. They pretend that they have this big button on their desk that all of your troubles can go away if I just hit this button. But I can't hit this button here because your neighbor doesn't want me to. But that's what they tried to hit this facade, this fake red button they have on their desk that just makes all of your problems go away. And they even went further to say, we will continue to resist Republican-led efforts to increase student loan payments for millions of Americans. No. We're not increasing student loan payments for Americans. We're just making them pay what they were supposed to pay. Like, yes, if you look at the dollar amount, it's going to go up. But they should just be lucky that they had 5 or 6 years where they didn't have to pay their student loans. They should have. They should have been paying down on it because they weren't forced to, because now they're going to be forced to. Like, it is insane that spending $500 billion to forgive debt for people who really are not going to add much value to society. And there's a lot, and I'm all about, if we want specialized loan forgiveness, that's fine. I'm willing to have that conversation in a private, public, economic union between the private and public sector. I would be okay with that. But not to the tune of $50 billion a year. Like, no. And it would need to be a program that, like a grant, where we're going to give you a grant if this is the type of loan that you're going for, this is the type of degree you're going to, or you're going to work in this field for so long. I'm all about that. But just broad student loan forgiveness? Absolutely not. Because we should be using this power that we have to incentivize people to go into certain industries. This just gives a blanket incentive to do whatever the hell they want. We should be incentivizing people to go into specific sectors that either there aren't enough people in, the job, you think about the trades. We want more and more people to go into the trades and make a good living there. How could you do that? Help and offer free apprenticeship programs. There are many things you can do, and it doesn't have to be to a 4-year college. We should be incentivizing post-secondary education, what people are going to do after they leave high school, to either, whether it's to get a certificate, whether it's to get a license, whatever they need to go do, we should be incentivizing that, not just a 4-year degree so you can go get a lesbian dance theory degree. And now many advocates for the plan, for the SAVE plan, are going to say that families need to borrow money to send their children to college today, and that they need more affordable ways to do it. And it makes it harder to buy a house and have children. Well, okay, let's start with this. Don't go to a 4-year school. Go to a local community college, get your associate's degree, transfer to a 4-year school. There you go. You're going to be able to save a lot of money that way. Parents, when you have kids, make sure you're taking advantage of a 529 plan. You can put money into a 529 plan, whether it's sponsored by your employer or you start it yourself. Don't ask for toys for your kids when they're younger. Ask for, hey, maybe, and you know what? They probably still want toys. Get them a couple of toys, but let's take that money you're going to spend on toys, put that into a 529 plan. And here's the beautiful thing, is if they get to 18, 19, 20, 21, and they decide they're not going to college, they're going to go do something else that you can't use that funds for, the IRS allows you to convert up to, I believe, $34,000 that's in a 529 plan, convert it into a Roth IRA when they're 20, leave it in a Roth IRA, invest it in the S&P 500, never touch it again. You're going to be worth, you'll have probably a net worth of $5 to $10 million by the time you get to retirement age. So either way, you're setting your child up for success. Either they're going to have money to go to school and to help pay for that. Also, that could be converted into a Roth IRA, $5 to $10 million tax-free when they retire. And now, here's the thing. There are plenty of government-provided loan programs that allow at low interest rates for students to take out debt. You have FAFSA. There are grants. Trust me, there are plenty of ways to cut money on education costs. But also, we shouldn't be looking at subsidizing it after the fact. This is just a Band-Aid. The student loan forgiveness is a Band-Aid after the fact. Let's get to the root cause. Why is tuition going up so much at most of these four-year schools? Why is it at the same time that college tuition started to go up tenfold was at the same time that the government got in the business of administering student loan debt? Maybe the colleges looked at it and say, hey, we know the U.S. government's not going to default. They're not going to default on this. We're just going to start charging more and more and more and more because it doesn't matter how much we charge because we know that the federal government is not going to default on their debt that they owe us. But I've got a little secret for you. If you're someone who went to a four-year school and now wants all your loans to be taken care of for you with no responsibility, you got the education. You made a choice to take out all of that debt. It is your responsibility to pay for it. It is not the federal government. And you know, when you say federal government, it is not the American taxpayer's job to allow you to have 4 years at a college to get a degree in gender studies and then to turn around and get subsidized because you can't get a job with that useless POS degree. You know, I'm in the younger generation. I only graduated high school, 4 or 5 years ago. My generation struggles heavily with taking responsibility for their actions and then by bailing them out. What are they going to learn? All they're going to learn is that they can continue to take on massive risk, that it's not risk that's been calculated. They will just continue to evade these responsibilities. Life is tough for everyone. Get over it. There's nothing special about you that should require taxpayers to foot your bill for a 4-year experience you got. There's no damn reason why why taxpayers should be subsidizing you after you go get a worthless degree. Not going to happen. And I'll be honest with you, I could benefit from this. I could benefit from student loan forgiveness. My fiance has student loan debt in the range of about $20,000. But see, she went and got a specialized degree in the medical field where we'll have that paid off within 6 months after she graduates. After she gets a job. We're taking care of our responsibilities. We have set ourselves up to make sure that we can take care of this. That's the reality. Go get a degree in something specialized. Don't get something in a gender, because then when you get into a specialized degree, you can this beautiful thing called you can afford to pay down your debt. Oh my gosh, what a wild thing, taking care of your own responsibilities. But that's going to conclude our video for today. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments of this finally being the last nail in the coffin for these ridiculous student loan forgiveness plans. Just absolutely ridiculous. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. As always, like, share, subscribe for more. Don't ever miss a video from us again. And until next time.